I mean, most people think the risk is in the action, but the risk is truly in the waiting. Today, let's just talk about the cost of waiting. A few years ago, I'm looking at a real estate opportunity and the numbers weren't perfect. The timing wasn't right. The market wasn't on that perfect trajectory. And if I'm to be honest, I wasn't completely comfortable. Action creates clarity. Identity built through your decisions. Time, time, it just doesn't care. That's just the hidden cost of waiting. All right, let's go. If you're tired, not feeling fit, tired just not having the focus, tired just not having the life that you deserve, this is your place to be. I'm Jason Yarusi. Today, let's just talk about the cost of waiting. A few years ago, I'm looking at a real estate opportunity and the numbers weren't perfect. The timing wasn't right. The market wasn't on that perfect trajectory. And if I'm to be honest, I wasn't completely comfortable. And I started to do what most do when they're uncertain. I just keep gathering information, right? Another call, another spreadsheet, another opinion, another week, then another week. And I'm convinced myself that I was being responsible. What I was actually doing was delaying making a decision. Meanwhile, someone else took the action, made a move, and they weren't smarter. They didn't have more information than me. They weren't simply to a fact of just better position. They just simply just decided, right? And they got the opportunity. And I got frustration. But, looking back and what I know today is that opportunity turned out fantastic for them, right? And it was all the information I had for everything to work out perfect, everything to be in the right spot. But I delayed thinking that time ultimately would make me better positioned or feel better, right, about doing it when I knew it was the right opportunity to do. And most opportunities, they don't disappear because they're bad. They disappear because someone else acted while we're still thinking, right? We're still giving ourselves of just all of this analysis, right? And analysis paralysis is a thing that you hear a lot in real estate, right? And it's present everywhere else, right? Because it applies in health, relationships, business, faith, life, and the opportunities we lose are not the ones that we should have pursued. But if we just had waited longer, we would understand that was the opportunity for us, right? We knew what to do. We just kept telling ourselves, right, we can't surely be certain, right? We can't surely make a good choice because in ourselves, we've patterned ourselves to think that, we only make bad decisions. So if you think about this, right, waiting is something that you only realize is too late when you're on your deathbed. And if you think about this, like, what are you waiting for? Everyone listening has something, the business idea, the investment, the conversation you have to have, that workout program, the habit, the dream. It's the problem that you don't know. The problem you convince yourself that you need something else before you start. Is it more money, more confidence, more certainty? And you have to ask yourself, what am I waiting for? And I should already know. But what gives us this confidence? And it's the action. It's the action that creates the clarity, because one of the greatest lies that we always tell ourselves is that once I feel ready, I'll start. But if I ask you, what does feeling ready actually mean? Can't truly answer that question, because readiness, it doesn't come first. The action comes first. Every major breakthrough in my life has started before I felt ready. From buying my first deals to launching businesses to standing on stages to running hundreds of miles to I've never felt 100% unprepared. The clarity came after I just started moving, because it was built on the identity that I created through these decisions. Every action, it creates this vote for who you're becoming, right? It gives you this little initiative to say, okay, I'm on the path. When you work out, you're not just exercising, you're becoming someone who just keeps the commitment. I said, I'm going to get up and run today. Okay. Did you get up and run? Yes. Well, you're creating that active vote for yourself. When you have a difficult conversation, you're becoming more courageous. When you invest in yourself, become the type of person who just believes in your future. The identity, it's not found. It's not like you're like looking around like, I just can't figure out what I am and who I am. I found it, right? I was looking around the corner and there it is, right? It's built one decision at a time. And that's it. The time, it doesn't care. I mean, the truth is, time moves whether you want to be on or not. If you're moving with the time. If you're not, well, you're not. And the calendar, it just doesn't pause while you're just figuring things out. We hear about people who just are constantly figuring things out, right? Their whole life is spent figuring things out, but nothing's ever figured out. And you don't get to figure it out by just thinking about it over and over and over. It's the thought and then the action, right? And then what is the identity built through that action? It's 1 year from now, will you be thinking, or you had started today, or would you be wishing you had? The time, it passes any different way, whether you're with it or not. So if you look at that framework, wait, what are you waiting for? Action creates clarity. Identity built through your decisions. Time, time, it just doesn't care. That's just the hidden cost of waiting. I mean, most people think the risk is in the action, but the risk is truly in the waiting cost. I mean, low opportunities, lost confidence, lost momentum, lost growth, right? Everything that you delay, the decision just becomes heavier and heavier and heavier, right? It becomes so heavy that it's like you have an elephant sitting upon you because you never just got the action. So every day you give more and more reasons for you to have just bigger and bigger mountain to climb, or the fear, it just grows so substantial you can't break free. The excuse, it gets stronger. The Knicks had this incredible win last night. Incredible win in game 4. It was just incredible. Down by 29 points, largest deficit, right, to ever come back in the NBA Finals, most points scored by their team in the first half. And Jalen Brunson, they asked, how did you do this? He said, well, we just kept chipping away. It wasn't, let me think about it. Because the fear would have been, we'll never come back from this. No one else has done it, so how are we going to do it? It was that I will just keep chipping away. The team will just keep chipping away. And we will believe, right, that if we just keep chipping away, because it builds our identity. We got from, 29 to 25 to 22 to 19. All of a sudden, a minute left, they go up, right? Then they're down. And at that last point, 1.2 seconds left, they hit this magical tip in, right? It was chipping away. They didn't just magically hit a 30-point shot and they're up, by 1 after a 29-point deficit. They did something, right, about chipping away at that lead and just kept going a little bit. And was it always in a positive direction? No, they went up. Then the other team came back, scored a little bit. They went down, right? They had some things go great, right? Then they had some things go bad. Josh Hart gets a point where he gets this steal, goes for a fast break layup, right? And misses the layup. And that would have put them up for the first time. And he misses this layup, right? And it could have just been like, it wasn't our night. I knew it wasn't our night because we had this chance, right? They just went back and course corrected and kept chipping away. Because if you let the excuses get stronger and you think about your journey being ruined, and there's this point where, it just seems overwhelming. Like the marathon, it felt overwhelming. Then the ultra marathon felt ridiculous. Then, if I just focused on that entire race, like, I have to do this long distance, I would have never, ever, ever started. But I focused on just getting from aid station to the aid station, right? 1 run, 1 mile, 1 day. And that's how big things get accomplished. It's not just all at once. It's just one decision at a time. And the truth, it's the same thing for your business, your finances, your health, your relationships. So ask yourself, for the next 24 hours, can you do this? Can you identify just one thing you're postponing? One thing that's sitting in the back of your mind that if you think that if you just addressed it, it would improve your life, then just take one action. Not the entire plan, just one action. One action, just one step. Send me email. Make a call. Schedule a meeting. Start a workout. Do 10 squats. Submit an offer. There's this quote, right, which is just fantastic. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second time is right now, today. Well, that's life, right? We could all get a set. I wish I did this a decade ago, but you could still start now. Your future, it's not just waiting for this perfect condition. It's waiting for you. It's waiting for a decision, because the cost of action is temporary, but the cost of waiting can be your lifetime. That's why you have to go. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, that's what I have for you today. If this was powerful, impactful, has helped you or can help others, go out there and share this message. And if you can do anything for us, just take 20 seconds to go down there and hit that button that just gives a quick review. We read all of them. It helps this podcast continue to grow, continue to get out to the masses, and continue to bring this message to you and others around you. All right, that's what we have for you today. I'm Jason Yarusi. This is the Live Under Podcast. Let's do this.